Napi relatives, Membiwa Tahushka Opi Miha. Welcome to the new channel. So what I'm going to be doing on this channel is doing a planting video. So I'm going to be doing a smaller scale of what I would normally do. I'm using a small planter box. This box is has the it's just smaller. Got it from a place called Menards here in Ohio. So sit back and enjoy, and going to be talking through the video showing you what I've been planting. So inside of this particular box, I'm using organic soil. So this is the herbal box that I'm going to be planting in. So I'm going to be planting herbs in this particular box. So just wanted to show you guys what I'm going to be planting in here inside of this herbal box. So first, let me turn the package around the correct way. The first thing we're going to be planting, let me get this on the camera, should be, just a second here. So that's going to be anise. So we are planting anise. We're also going to be planting, let's see, let me grab this next one, Culver's root. So Culver's root. We're also going to be planting hyssop. So we will have hyssop in here as well. And we're also going to be planting catnip. So we're going to be planting catnip in here as well. Our next item is going to be lemon balm. So we're going to be planting some lemon balm in here. The next item that we're going to be planting is cayenne long red peppers, or cayenne long red peppers. Next is, let's see, we got red garnet. Alright, so we're going to be doing some red garnet in there. And let's see what else we got. I believe that is going to be it. Alright relatives, so next what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate these. So I'm going to make like a divider in the soil to separate each herb. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write with a Sharpie where each separation is, what the actual herb that I'm planting is going to be that's going into that area. Give me 1 second and I will do that, and we'll be right back. Okay relatives, so let's get ready for part 2, where we get into what we're planting in the video. Alright relatives, so we're back. So I've labeled where each thing is going to be. As you can see, I abbreviated what each thing is along the box there. So you can see I wrote down where everything is going to be for Sharpie. And then if you look at the soil, I kind of made like imaginary barriers with my finger in the soil to separate each herb and where it's going to sit at in here. So let me set the camera back down and we will get into planting the actual herb seeds. Alright relatives, so we're going to go ahead and work our way down. The first thing we're going to start with is going to be the red garnet. So we'll start with the red garnet and then work our way down, but it says to plant seeds indoors 5 to 6 weeks before last frost. Place seeds 1/4 deep in good potting soil. Keep seeds warm and evenly moist. Transplant outside 30 to 36 inches apart. Mulch if necessary to keep weed free. Cage or stake as needed. So what I'm going to try to do is, as these get bigger, move them into a little bit bigger container, so that way they can grow properly. So the one thing about red garnet seed, it is a small seed. So what I'm doing is I'm getting about 2 to 3 seeds on my finger and dropping them down into the holes that I made into the soil. So you can use, I try to only use a few seeds, but use as many as you need to. I only like to do a few, 2 to 3 at the most, depending on how big the seeds are. But I do that so that these can last a few years instead of just going through them in a big hurry. So that's the reason why I'm only dropping 2 to 3 seeds in each hole. So I make 3 holes, drop 2 to 3 seeds in each hole. Again, just to make sure they last. So I want to show you what the garnet seeds look like. Red garnet seeds. So I dropped them in the holes, and as you can see here on the screen, there's 2 to 3 in each one of the holes, and we'll do the same thing. So, but this is what they look like. Do the same thing with each section. All right. So again, those are small seeds. Alright, so next we're going to do the cayenne long red pepper. So for the cayenne long red pepper, it says on the package to sow seeds indoors before last frost. Plant seeds about 1/4 under soil surface, then transplant seedlings to garden with 12 to 18 inches between plants and 24 to 36 inches between rows. Alright. Alright, relatives, so I had to do a little bit of editing of the video. My apologies for my hand being in the way. Camera fell down a few times, so you know, I'm trying to record with my camera on my phone. But when you grow, you know, like I said, you can be precise, you know, if you want to measure how far down you put in the holes. But on the screen here, you can see the pepper seeds. I believe I did one in each hole, because again, I don't want to waste these. Again, I need to, you know, we want to make these seeds last as long as we possibly can. We always also want to, I know before I plant, you know, I put my hands in the soil, give the Creator thanks, and, you know, ask for a good growing season, ask for the crops to be plentiful, and, you know, we added to give thanks and much respect to nature, because it does provide for us. So that way we, you know, we always have things so we can grow our own food and different things like that to supply what we need. Alright, relatives, so with the lemon balm seeds, again, we want to try to, we don't have to plant those very deep, so I'm going to try to get out probably about 4 or 5 seeds on my finger. Since they're so small, they kind of stick to your finger when you stick your finger in the bag. So we're going to do about 4 or 5 seeds. Again, you don't have to plant them very deep. I believe the package said about 1/4 of the way into the soil. So again, if you're someone who likes to be precise, I mean, I guess you could some kind of way measure that, but you know, I don't feel the need to be, you know, so precise on that or exact. Just kind of guesstimating, you know, the 1/4 measurement. All right. Alright, relatives, so next we're going to be planting catnip. Again, catnip, when we get to the end of the video, or towards the end of the video, before it's over with, I'm going to go back and read all of the health benefits of each herb. So again, the next thing we're going to plant is catnip. So catnip looks very similar to lemon balm. I believe was the last one we did. Little black seeds. So give me just a second here and I will show you what they look like on the screen. So here they are. That's catnip seeds. And let me read to you the instructions here. It says to sow seeds indoors before last frost, or direct sow seeds outside after last frost. Plant seeds just under the soil surface and water. Alright, so let's go ahead and plant the catnip. So again, relatives, with the seeds, I'm trying not to be wasteful with them. So with these being so small, probably dumping in about 5 to 6 seeds. Don't want to go crazy and just, you know, dump the bag of seeds in there, because that would definitely be wasteful. Like I was saying before, I want these seeds to last, you know, at least, I don't know, 3 to 4 years. You know, again, I have a whole nother seed vault, but you know, I don't want to just run through them and, you know, in 2 years I'm done. So just want to conserve the seeds and not be wasteful. All right. Again, relatives, I use organic soil, and the reason for that is gives me, personally, the best results when I plant, and or the best yield, or whatever we call it. Someone can tell me if I'm saying that correctly in the comments. But that's why I use organic soil, because this is the best results I get out of it. Alright, relatives, so just one other thing I wanted to mention, like, since a lot of us are still in the cities, and we haven't made it out to the country areas yet, we're working on it. We are what you would call urban farmers, so we're still in the city, still in the urban environment. So if we're doing gardening and planting like this, we would be urban farmers. The next thing I'm getting ready to plant here is going to be hyssop. So as you can see on the screen, I'm making the little holes to dump the seeds into, and once I do that, again, the seeds, they actually look like the last two things we've been planting, the catnip and the lemon balm. So they're little black seeds as well. So we're going to go ahead and plant these seeds. And the other thing is that the garden boxes that I have here, like, you can do like 4 or 5 of these, and you can probably get, I probably did about 6 or 7 different herbs in here. So you can, again, just put the soil in, kind of section it out, mark and label, whatever you have on the outside of the box to kind of show what you're planting. And again, you can do 4 or 5 of these, especially if you live in an apartment, or you don't have a whole lot of space. You can use these small boxes like this, and set them 4 or 5 right in a row, right on your back porch if you have that, or your front porch, or whatever you have, wherever you live. So I mean, it's kind of nice with these, because again, they're actually kind of long, kind of, they go down pretty deep, but not real wide, so it's not taking up a ton of space. So again, these garden boxes, these small ones like this, so again, normally I would use a big old raised garden bed, but these are smaller garden boxes, because I'm kind of downsizing right now on this. So I am dropping the seeds into the holes, and then once we do that, we'll go ahead and cover them up. Alright, relatives, now I know I've said this a few times, but again, I'm only dumping, a few seeds in at a time. Again, we want to, have this for, years to come. We don't want to, just dump everything all at one time, and then, we don't have anything else for, next year or whatnot in the years after that. So, be sparing with this. Also, too, the other thing I wanted to mention with these smaller garden boxes, when you are ready to transport them into a raised bed, a raised garden bed, makes it a little bit easier to transfer over to the bigger container, and then you have plants already grown. So. Alright, relatives, so next we are going to plant Culver's root, and it looks like the seeds are even smaller than the last seeds we just planted, so this ought to be interesting. But let's go ahead and read the instructions on planting Culver's root. It says no pre-treatment needed. Sow seeds on soil surface at 70 degrees Fahrenheit and water. It says they are slower to germinate, so these only need to go on the surface. Now, I do have some other herbs that I'm not planting right now because they are actually fall plants, and that's when we'll put those in the fall time. Alright. Alright, relatives, so with the Culver's root, since it told us that it needed to just be on the surface of the soil, so I basically stuck my finger in the bag about 3 times and got seeds on it, and I'm just kind of sprinkling it over the top of the soil in the area marked for Culver's root. So that's what the instructions said to do, so that's what I went ahead and did. So relatives, the nice thing about the My Patriot seeds, they actually come in the seeds are actually in a resealable baggie, and then the baggie is actually inside of another resealable bag. So it's a nice thing about the My Patriot seeds. And right now they're kind of out of stock on things, but once people stop being greedy and trying to order up everything, that stuff will come back in stock. Alright relatives, so our next and final herb that we're going to plant is going to be anise. And the instructions say no pre-treatment needed. Sow seeds on soil surface at 70 degrees Fahrenheit and water. Slow to germinate. So just like the last one, we're going to plant this one the same way. So I'm going to get, probably stick my finger again in the bag a few times. Or actually with this one, the seeds are a little bit bigger. So I'll probably grab like 2 or 3 seeds and, kind of sprinkle them on the soil in that area that's designated for the anise. Alright, relatives, again, so here is the anise seed. A little bit bigger seed, so I dropped about two seeds in the soil, because again, the seeds are slightly bigger than the other ones. So in this box we planted hyssop, catnip, red garnet, cayenne long red peppers, lemon balm, and culver's root. Okay, so those are all the things we have planted in this box. So we are complete with that. And anise, sorry, I forgot anise. Anise is also in this box. So let's go ahead and get ready to also, since it has gotten warmer out and we're able to plant outside now, it's a good idea to get the kids involved, your family. I did this last year. I had my sons have actually been helping me the past 2 years doing this. So they really enjoy it. A good learning experience for them. Something that we can keep passing along, so our ancestors can survive. Alright, relatives, so let's go ahead and talk about the benefits of each one of these that we have here. So the first one is going to be the cayenne pepper. It says it's regarded as a circulatory stimulant, said to strengthen the heart and blood vessels. Alright. So the next thing we planted was the red garnet. That one says helps reduce inflammation, packed with protein, vitamins, and minerals. Alright. Next is anise. That one says promotes healthy digestion and restful sleep. Tastes like black licorice. Alright, so if you're someone who doesn't like black licorice, you know, you're just gonna have to deal with it. Next is Culver's root, used as a tonic to treat liver and gallbladder disorders. Also an excellent blood purifier. Next is hyssop, leaves brewed into a tea, has soothing and medicated properties for colds, flu, and sore throats. Next we have lemon balm. That one's, one second here. And our last thing is